We're going to talk about the timed iterative robot framework, which is used inside of the first robotics control system that was developed by WPI. To start, we're going to talk about the information exchange between the driver station and the robot. Every 20 milliseconds, or 50 times a second, the driver station assembles a packet of information and transmits it to the robot containing information such as the joystick positions, button positions. At the same time, the robot also assembles a packet of information and sends it back to the driver station with various data that we've chosen to send back to the driver station. To better understand how this robot programming framework is going to work, we have to know a little bit more about the driver station. On the far left, you'll see several buttons: teleoperated, autonomous, test, disable, and enable. The teleop, autonomous, and test and disable all corresponds to machine states, programming states. The enable is what transitions you into the teleop, autonomous, or test states. The disable transitions the robot into a disable state. The practice button is really a little different thing. It's not really a programming state. It's a sequence of operations that's driven by the driver station. We'll ignore that for now. We're going to focus on the teleop, the autonomous, the test, enable, disable. Every C program has a main function. It may have only one function, but it always has a main. In our environment, we do not deal with the main. The main is already written. That code exists. We work downstream from that. The main program already has a line of code in it that creates and starts a class called robot. Within that class, there are 5 pairs of mode-dependent functions that end with the phrase init or periodic. These are the 5 pairs of functions. You'll notice that they generally correspond to the indicators that I just showed you on the driver station. When the robot is turned on and boots up and the code is started, it calls. The operating system will start main. Main will create the class, and the class will start robot init once, and only once, until the robot is turned off. It will never happen again. Once that happens, the robot periodic function is called. This happens at the same time tick as the information exchange between the driver station and the robot, which is 20 milliseconds. If the driver station is set up for test mode, when you click the enable button, it will call test init once. And then on every tick, every timed interval of 20 milliseconds, test periodic is executed, that task is run, then robot periodic. If you press the disable button, it will run disable init once when you press the button, and then it calls disable periodic every 20 milliseconds, and then robot periodic right behind that. So at the timer tick, disable periodic, then robot periodic. If the driver station is in teleop mode, when you click enable, it runs teleop init, then robot. Then it will run teleop periodic and robot periodic every 20 milliseconds. Same thing for autonomous. You click enable. When you're in the autonomous mode, it will run autonomous init once. And thereafter, every 20 milliseconds, run the autonomous periodic followed by the robot periodic task. The inits, all the inits except for robot init, are executed based on the enable disable buttons. The robot init happens only when the machine boots up. Robot periodic always runs, always, after the other periodic task. If you understand this, then we shall move on, and robot programming begins here.